Hello, this is Adrian Go, and I'm really excited today. This story, I think is one of the most important stories in the book, even though it's very small and very, it's not like a powerful story like the story of Caillou or Hamilton, where you're like, wow. But this one is one, as you go on, you probably will think about, and it's like, oh yeah. And basically, the story is called Your Kingdom or Your Wealth. And that story is completely fiction, except for the fact that, as you will see, point for me was the rulers now are kings, rule in the shadow. And if you're not sure what I mean, all I'm going to say, and I think I said it before, is we know we have a 1%. The 1% are definitely, they exist, they're very powerful, but I don't think you guys could name any one of them. Who are the 1%? And so what I wanted for this story is to start making you feel like the transition from the king in their gold and red outfits slowly fading away into the bankers working in the shadows. And how did I do this? So I was tricky. So I used the same character that we saw in a previous story. The character is von Neumann. He is the person who is a secretary to Nathan Rothschild in England. He goes to the city close to Reims in the castle to meet. He gets kidnapped and tortured, so they get information from him. And now we see him as kind of the leader of the research and development for the Bank Rothschild in London. Important, this is complete fiction, but I wanted to, again, show the thinking behind it. And so basically it's assigned to, every month is assigned to, we want to know the new technology in textile. Oh, and somebody needs money to create a new machine. No problem. We have the money. We are the Rothschild. We have plenty of money. Let's lend them the money. What do you want to do? You want to build a machine that's going to facilitate the process for medicine, for fabric, just R&D. You come to us. If we think, we meet once a month, we look at it, we have a bunch of experts that present and support the idea, or write against the idea, and then you, the financier, decide. Yes, it's worth it, it's not worth it, you do your calculation. But on this specific month, the assignment that they sent was King's Success and Failure. And it was more about, because from the French Revolution to, I would say, 1860, basically every monarchy either faded away or they abdicated and became puppet, like in England. And so I just wanted to present that and have our expert write about it. The twist in my story is that, and that's a story that von Neumann is reading to his audience, they also gave the same question, King's Success and Failures, to a university and the students and let them write what they wanted. And so they found somebody. And so he reads the story. And the story basically is very simple. The people are rebelling, and the king calls his wise man, and the wise man says, which would you rather lose, your kingdom or your wealth? And of course, the king is mad. Well, isn't it one and the same? And so the wise man explained that no, your kingdom and your wealth are two different things. And so they implement a plan in which the king would become just a regular citizen, and he would create kind of a republic, a person to enforce the economy, in charge of the economy, the finances, and the policing, and the army, and so on. And so if you read the story, you know what I'm talking about. And Vonneman stops because he's like, well, I'm going to stop and see if my audience is actually okay with it. And they're like, oh, tell me, but this is a great angle. What happens? And so they realize that basically the king, the old king, retired from, of course, with all the wealth he could manage to take, and becomes the central banking or the financing of the kingdom, which they do have to pay and pay and pay and pay because they don't know to really manage. And so he ruled before as this king, the figure that it's easy to blame for all the misery of the kingdom or in the kingdom. But now they can't, because now he's given them the republic. It's run by the people. But behind the scene, he controls everything because he controlled the money. And so I wanted to let that message, which I think is the most important message, sink in as we move on. Because now we're going to be looking at America and what's going on, and the power of the elite and the power of the shadow government as it is described further down in the book. I wanted to introduce that. And as I say in the end of the story, the kingdom of your wealth, there, he says, to a new world where we can rule in the shadow and never be blamed for the misery of the others. And so this was my goal. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's a very nice story. I like it. It's very, very quick. But it just gives me the opportunity to instill this kind of thinking in you and as we go on. Okay, I want to thank you very much for being here. I appreciate your time. If you have any question, and again, I'm going to say it again, this is mostly fiction. We know that all these people are working in the shadow, and so they're ruling from behind the scene. Thank you very much for your time. I will see you in the next one. Next one promises to be really amazing. It's Andrew Jackson, and that's one I love. Very powerful story. And I didn't know Jackson, and so he became one of my heroes. So hope to see you on the next one. Thank you so much, and goodbye.